This is 7 National News, and in our top story, the Emirates Red Crescent has launched a major humanitarian donation campaign that includes a telethon to raise funds for 10 million people over in Yemen. The month-long campaign has been launched upon the directives of the UAE President, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and the UAE Vice President and Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and orders of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, as well as the follow-up of His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the ruler's representative in the Western region, who's also the chairman of the ERC. The ERC's Secretary-General, Dr. Mohammed Atiq Al-Falahi, revealed that the campaign, under the title For You Yemen, will also include a telethon next Friday on a number of major television stations in order to raise funds. Al-Falahi also announced that 200 stations will be deployed across the country to collect cash and material donations. Donations can also be sent to the campaign's bank accounts at Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank, Dubai Islamic Bank, Sharjah Islamic Bank, as well as via text messages, the ERC website and social media accounts. The chairman of the ERC is calling on all sectors of society in the country to support the ERC's humanitarian relief programs and to help those affected, and is also appealing to Emirati and resident philanthropists in order to support the people of Yemen.
Yemen is part of the United Arab Emirates. We are just here near countries. We have many Yemeni people working here, and this is why the Yemen be a very poor country. We are Red Crescent. We want to help these people. Our budget is for 10 million people to reach the people, to help them, needy people. UAE Red Crescent spent just now, until now, 94 million dirham to help the Yemeni people. We have just our major to be 10 million people. We just make it for the health, education, and relief. Just now we help it 142,000 people. That's 600 families. 620,000 people. We help them that we have to. We rent a warehouse in the Aden port. More than 9 ships gone there. Last ship is 4,000 tons. Food, cars, medicals, and this. From tomorrow we just started to buy for education more than 50,000 school bags with all necessary papers, books, pencils, everything that people needed that appears to be, inshallah, during 1 week be there in Aden.
93.8% of professionals surveyed across the MENA region have a positive outlook on life, with 56% being very positive and 37.8% being somewhat positive. The results come from the Personal Fulfillment in the Middle East and North Africa poll, which was recently conducted by Bait.com. 7 out of 10 professionals consider themselves fulfilled in life, with 33.4% feeling both professionally and personally fulfilled. Almost 1/3, however, do not feel fulfilled at all. 4 out of 5 respondents believe that they are in control of their career and life, with 54.6% believing this to a great extent. Financial worries at 29.5%, a lack of training and development opportunities at 16.3%, and feeling that their job is not suited to them at 12.9% are the most prominent reasons keeping MENA respondents from feeling fulfilled. 32.6% of those polled said that a better work-life balance would cause them to feel more fulfilled overall. This is followed by a better pay and a better social life. The majority at 97.2% of polled professionals also consider themselves to be healthy. However, 70.8% say that they experience stress on a daily basis. It was also revealed that 71.8% of MENA respondents travel for recreation. From January the 1st next year, the Ministry of Health will cut the prices of 188 medicines. Dr. Amin Hussein Al-Amiri, the Assistant Undersecretary for the Public Health Policy and Licensing Sector at the UAE Ministry of Health, who's also the Vice Chairman of the Drug Pricing and Registration Hire Committee, was quoted as saying that 77% of the medicines of which the prices will be reduced will include those for the central nervous system, 8% for obstetrical and gynecological diseases and urologic disorders, 5% for lethal diseases and immune system depression, 4% for ear, nose and throat diseases, nutritional medicines and blood disorders, and 1% for immune system disorders, vaccines and eye care. He added that 27 global pharmaceutical companies and local, regional and international drug makers were involved in the initiative, and that no pharmacy has violated the prices of medicines over the previous 5 initiatives. ADNOC Distribution has announced that 41 additional service stations over in Abu Dhabi will now receive and process customer applications for e-gas cards ahead of the 8th of September deadline. Abdullah Salim Al-Daheri, the CEO of ADNOC Distribution, said that regulating the sale of LPG cylinders through the e-gas cards is in line with the UAE's vision, which is to migrate all functions to smart platforms to ensure safer, easier and a greater convenience to customers. Al-Daheri added that this takes the total number of service stations issuing e-gas cards to 139 across Abu Dhabi. The new monthly quotas set by ADNOC Distribution allocates 150 dirhams for Emirati families and 70 dirhams for Emirati single citizens for 5-year e-gas cards. Monthly quotas for resident expat families have been set at 70 dirhams and for expat single residents at 40 dirhams for a 1-year card. First-time registration is free, and when getting the card issued for the first time, customers are required to charge their cards with a 200 minimum dirham balance. The Abu Dhabi municipality has identified over 3,000 abandoned vehicles left in public areas, public parking and residential communities of the Emirates Masafa area. The municipality has confirmed that between the start of this year and the 4th of August, it identified 3,142 abandoned vehicles, out of which 2,668 have been impounded. It was highlighted that the move to impound abandoned vehicles is a part of an ongoing campaign, urging the public to avoid leaving vehicles in public places for lengthy periods of time. The objective, according to the municipality, is to promote safety and security, to curb the impact of environmental pollution, raise awareness, and educate the general public about the conservation of the environment. Subsequent amendments have revised the notice period to 3 days instead of 14, following which an inspector will notify a vehicle towing company to remove the often dust-polluted vehicle. According to the law, a fine of 3,000 dirhams is imposed, and once the offender reports to the municipality, a settlement is then offered, including the payment of 50% of the fine. Mall of the Emirates is now offering an additional 1,300 parking spaces on level 4 as a part of its strategic redevelopment. Now featuring a total of 7,200 parking spaces, visitors can drive up to the new parking deck with rooftop shade protection and direct shopping access to the mall. Fuad Mansour Sharaf, the Senior Director of Property Management and Shopping Malls for Majid Al Futtaim Properties, was quoted as saying that Mall of the Emirates is currently undergoing an exciting 1 billion dirham multi-stage, multi-year redevelopment under the title of Evolution 2015, which is expanding and enhancing the overall customer and lifestyle offer at the mall. He added that the investment follows a careful analysis of visitor feedback and that the overall ambience, the directional signage, pedestrian access and lighting will also be significantly upgraded. Additionally, works on the ground floor parking area are now complete, along with a new taxi rank, allowing 40 additional taxis located at Welcome Court 4, representing a total of 80 taxi places. And finally, looking to other news now, with the summer holidays now drawn to a close, it's time to start the new academic year, as around 858,000 students are expected to return to school this week across the country. According to the UAE Ministry of Education statistics, around 500,000 students will be resuming their studies this week in Dubai and the Northern Emirates, while 358,000 students are expected to return to school over in Abu Dhabi. It's back to school season for many around the country as students and parents prepare for their school year ahead, with last-minute shopping for new stationery and school uniforms. After a long summer break lasting for around 2 months, this is the time for many to ease into their daily routines and catch up over their schoolwork. A few weeks prior to the start of the new academic year, teachers at schools across Dubai are often engaged in planning for lessons ahead. With over 650 students expected to return to school by Monday morning, staff over at Jebel Ali School will focus on getting their students used to a new timetable, while they encourage parents to help their children get into a new routine of early starts.
Our children do get up very early in Dubai because there's travelling distance and school starts particularly early, and they won't have been used to that over the holidays. We expect that for when they come in, and usually the first week to 2 weeks, that's a time for them to settle down and to settle in. We like to do a lot of artwork at the start as well, again, to ease that process, and for them to actually spend time with each other, because they've got a lot of catching up to do over summer. So our work will focus a lot on their holidays, sharing what they've been up to over the holidays. Quite often they will present what they've done over the holidays, and that's a good way for them to just ease back into school. You encourage the reading and basic math skills, but we've also got to remember that at the start, particularly, it is a long transition time for them, so they need a break when they get home, and not to go straight on with the education side. They need that playtime, they need time with their friends, and not just to head straight back into school.
According to the head teacher, Jackie Parr, they are expecting around 150 new students to join this year, with some arriving from abroad. In order to help the students adjust to a new culture, induction day at school and group activities will be organised in the first few weeks.
It's a big move. They're usually coming from their home country, parents are working here. So it's quite a challenge in terms of settling them into school and settling them into Dubai life. So they've got a big learning curve. We try and make it as easy as possible in terms of schooling, that we do an induction program for the children, and we do transition sessions for them. So for example, today, which is the first day for our new pupils, they're coming into school and they'll meet the teachers. They'll get their own time in the classroom with the teacher, and they'll also meet the management team as well. In terms of settling the children into Dubai life, one of the things they've got to get used to is the heat, of course. So we're really aware of safety in the hot climate. So we will look very much at the beginning to ensure that they're following the general rules that we have within the school in terms of safety in the heat.